Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob, and this is episode 91. Today's topic is a tender one we often avoid. Not because we're bad or broken, but because we're human. We're talking about those moments when we believe something because we need to, not because it's true. Maybe it's something we were taught. Maybe it's something we wanted to believe about someone we loved. Or maybe it's a belief that gave us comfort when the world felt too overwhelming. And let me say this right away. This is not about shame. It's about freedom. Why we hold on to beliefs that don't hold up. There are moments in life when the truth is too heavy to hold all at once. So we create stories. Stories about what's right and wrong. And who's to blame. About what kind of people we are and what kind they are. In politics, this shows up as absolute certainty. They're the enemy. We're the good ones. No need to question further. In religion, it may sound like questioning means doubt. Doubt means weakness. We don't talk about that. But beneath those narratives is often fear. Fear that if we tug too hard at the thread, everything will unravel. But here's the truth. Spoken with unconditional love. Real faith doesn't fear the thread. Real growth invites it. The cost of not being honest with ourselves is way too steep. When we cling to beliefs simply because they're comfortable, we often lose connection with others and with ourselves. We stop listening. We stop learning. We start defending something hollow instead of standing inside something real. And worse, we begin to feel disconnected from our own heart because deep down we can feel when something doesn't align. That inner friction, that discomfort, it's not betrayal. It's a call to come home to truth. And truth, when held with love, is never here to destroy you. It's here to set you free. There are ways to recognize it gently. So how do you know when you're believing something out of fear rather than truth? Well, here are some quiet signals. If you are avoiding certain facts, conversations, or people who challenge your belief, that's one sign. You feel tension when someone brings up a different view, but not because it's wrong, because it might be right. And you don't want to talk about that. You notice that holding on to this belief keeps you angry, anxious, or rigid. That's a big sign it's not a right belief. You feel safer inside the belief than outside of it, even if it's hurting others. Oh, there's a big sign. You should never hurt others. If your faith is right, you don't hurt others. And most of all, you find yourself needing certainty more than love. Now, what do you do when you notice that any of those things are going on with you? Well, here's what I don't want you to do. Don't punish yourself. Don't spiral into shame. Don't throw everything away. Instead, pause, breathe, ask yourself gently, what am I afraid will happen if I let myself question this? And then, what would love do with that fear? When we approach ourselves with a healing presence, we don't crumble, we grow. This is emotional growth, learning to hold truth and love together. Letting the thread of compassion guide us through the places we were once too afraid to look. Real love can handle questions. If your faith is real, if your values, your politics, your convictions are true, they will not fall apart when you examine them. And if they do begin to unravel, maybe what's unraveling wasn't truth. Maybe it was fear dressed as faith, or certainty dressed as strength. And here's the miracle. When that thread unravels, what remains is love. Love that isn't afraid, love that can listen, love that doesn't need to dominate to feel safe, love that connects instead of divides. You can believe something yesterday and outgrow it today. There is no shame in change. That's what growth is. It doesn't make you a hypocrite. It makes you alive. You are not locked in place by your past beliefs. You are allowed to evolve, to stretch, to say, I didn't know better then. I do now. And guess what? That shift, done with kindness, humility, and a thread of compassion, may be the very thing that brings someone else the courage to do the same. Let love be the standard, not certainty. You don't have to be sure of everything. You just have to be willing to grow in love. If a belief requires you to deny reality, to reject people, to ignore pain, to dehumanize others, then maybe it's not built on love. And if it's not built on love, what is it really holding up? Let your beliefs serve love. Let your faith make you more human, not less. Let your politics reflect compassion, not punishment. Everyone tells me that God is love. Well, if that is true, if you believe that, and you believe yourself to be a religious person, well, then you serve love. Let the truth, however uncomfortable, bring you home to love. Thank you for staying with me through this. It's not easy work, but it's sacred work. I really believe in what I'm doing. Truth is a thread, so is compassion. And when they're woven together, they become the bridge back to human connection. Until next time, guys, be gentle with your questions, be brave with your beliefs, and always, always let love lead the way. If you do, you will never be wrong. I love you all very, very, very much, and you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on. Later, Gators. Bye.